and complete a risk assessment.
The Starrick Women's Refuge in Perth is turning away more women than not.
I think definitely things are getting worse. Certainly the statistics we're seeing around the murders of women, they're extremely high and, represent a national crisis.
Last weekend alone, it was not able to house 3 women who were in extreme danger.
They have a number of red flags which show they're really at very high risk of imminent harm, serious physical injury, potentially death. So it's really important that they receive a service and they're accommodated in a safe place.
She says one of the women they turned away had no choice but to return home.
We're seeing a lot of problems with the housing affordability crisis. So one of the problems is that women come into the refuge and then they can't move on into longer term housing because there's no housing options available for them.
Say it once, say it again. There's no excuse for violent men.
In the wake of rallies across the country calling for an end to violence against women, the Prime Minister has convened a meeting of National Cabinet for Wednesday to workshop solutions with state and territory leaders.
The laws, legal enforcements, the courts, community services, by and large, are run by state and territory government.
WA Premier Roger Cook is likely to raise the idea of a national register for domestic violence perpetrators.
Creating greater uniformity around laws as perpetrators of family and domestic violence move from state to state may be one way that we can all work together.
The sector has welcomed news the WA government is investing $90 million to bolster services.
It's a start. It's by far not enough. We need to see a lot more investment from the government, not only through funding, but initiatives, frameworks, policy, legislative reform, in order for us to be able to start seeing significant change across the sector. I'd like to see more funding dedicated to our crisis response, our women's refuges. They're bursting at the seams.
Back at Starrick Women's Refuge, this woman recently escaped her 3rd abusive relationship.
We need to have more power over some of the men that do this stuff to us and to keep our kids safe. That we just want to feel safe and have the best life that we can have. As I say, the families don't, lose us at all whatsoever because there's too many out there that's lost their lives.
Just outside, children are playing, an antidote to the scourge plaguing the country. Rhiannon Shine, ABC News.